The Allegory of the Cave is a famous philosophical story presented by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato in his work, The Republic. It serves as an allegory or metaphor to convey Plato's ideas about the nature of reality, knowledge, and the human condition. Here's a summary of the story. The allegory begins with a group of prisoners who have been confined inside a dark cave since their birth. They are bound in such a way that they can only see the wall in front of them. Behind the prisoners is a fire, and between the fire and the prisoners, there is a raised platform. On this platform, various objects and figures are being carried, casting shadows on the wall in front of the prisoners. The prisoners have no knowledge of the outside world or the objects being carried on the platform. All they perceive are the shadows, which they consider to be the only reality. They give names to these shadows and believe them to be the true forms of things. Their understanding of reality is limited to the illusions they observe on the wall. One day, a prisoner is released and forced to turn around and face the fire, which initially blinds him. Gradually, he becomes accustomed to the light and starts perceiving the objects on the platform that cast the shadows. The prisoner realizes that the shadows were mere reflections and not the true nature of reality. As the prisoner becomes more enlightened, he is led out of the cave and into the outside world. Initially, the brightness of the sun overwhelms him, but he gradually acclimates to the natural light and sees the true forms of objects in all their beauty. He realizes that the world inside the cave was a mere imitation of the real world. Feeling a sense of responsibility, the freed prisoner returns to the cave to share his newfound knowledge with the other prisoners. However, they find it difficult to comprehend and reject his claims. They are comfortable with their limited perception of reality and dismiss his descriptions of a higher truth. Plato's Allegory of the Cave is a metaphorical representation of the journey from ignorance to knowledge, from the world of appearances to the world of ideas. The cave symbolizes the world of senses, where people only perceive shadows and illusions, mistaking them for reality. The prisoner who is freed represents the philosopher who seeks knowledge and truth, stepping out of the confines of ignorance. The ascent out of the cave and into the sunlight symbolizes the philosopher's pursuit of wisdom and the discovery of true reality. The sun represents the ultimate source of truth and enlightenment, which illuminates the world of ideas and forms. The allegory also highlights the challenges faced by those who seek to enlighten others. The resistance of the prisoners to accept the freed prisoner's revelations signifies the difficulty of conveying profound philosophical concepts to those who are attached to their beliefs and comfortable with their limited understanding. Overall, the Allegory of the Cave serves as a powerful philosophical tool to illustrate Plato's theory of forms, the distinction between appearance and reality, and the transformative nature of philosophical enlightenment. Plato's philosophy has been criticized by various scholars throughout history. Here are a few notable critics and their criticisms. Aristotle. Although Aristotle was a student of Plato, he offered significant criticisms of his teacher's philosophy. One of Aristotle's main criticisms was directed towards Plato's theory of forms. He argued that Plato's separation of the physical world from the world of forms was problematic and failed to account for the inherent unity of form and matter. Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche was highly critical of Plato's philosophy, particularly his emphasis on reason and the pursuit of absolute truths. Nietzsche believed that Plato's philosophy suppressed individuality, denied life's inherent contradictions, and weakened the vital forces that drive human existence. Karl Popper. Popper criticized Plato's political philosophy, particularly the idea of philosopher kings ruling over society. He argued that Plato's concept of a utopian state led to a dangerous form of authoritarianism and denied individual freedom and autonomy. Martin Heidegger. Heidegger criticized Plato's philosophy for its metaphysical and dualistic tendencies. He argued that Plato's emphasis on abstract concepts and the separation between the world of ideas and the physical world obscured the true nature of being and existence. Simone de Beauvoir. Beauvoir, a feminist philosopher, criticized Plato's philosophy for its exclusion and marginalization of women. She argued that Plato's ideal state perpetuated male dominance and upheld patriarchal power structures. Jacques Derrida. Derrida criticized Plato's philosophy for its reliance on binary oppositions and hierarchical thinking. He argued that Plato's ideas reinforced a metaphysical hierarchy that privileged certain concepts and marginalized others, leading to exclusion and oppression.